We're going to output the contents of a node and delete from the front of our list. We need a while loop, and we're going to do this as long as or until head equals null. So while head is not null, and in this situation it isn't, print out the item of head. Then I need a temp, and I'm going to make temp point to head. So temp is going to point here. So I'm kind of holding on to this first node. Then head is head.next, so I'm going to move my head pointer. And now temp.next is null, so I am going to break my link here. That takes me to the top of my loop. Head is not null, so I'll do this all again. Print my item, print out my 4, and now temp equals head, so I'm moving temp to point to wherever head is pointing. Head equals head.next, so I move head over to the next one. Temp.next is null, so I will break this link, and that takes me to the top. While head is not null, it isn't, so I print out head's item. I then move temp to point to wherever head is pointing. Head is head.next. Well, head.next is null, so at that point head becomes null. And then temp.next is null. It actually was already null, so it stays null. And that has eliminated the links in our list. Truly they're still there in memory, but we'll never be able to find any of this data. You can do this without temp. If you do it without temp, you don't actually remove the links. So without a temp, let's look at the code. While head is not null, it is not. So print out the 6 and move head along. So head now is pointing here. Back to the top of our loop, head is not null. Print out head's item. So print out the 4 and then move head along. While head is not null, print out head's item, so print out the 8 and move head along, and head equals head.next. Head.next is null, so that makes head null. And while head is not null, but head is null, so I'm done with my while loop. So I have printed out the items in the nodes in my list. Head is null, so I will never be able to get back to this list. These nodes still exist in memory, and if you ever find one, you can certainly get to the others. It's not necessary to break all of these links. It's not necessary to make all of these null, but it's good practice, which is why in the example I started out with a temp. If you leave these intact, you will be okay, except in future homework, you might get yourself in trouble. Again, it's good practice to break these links when you delete them.